Hey, welcome. The podcast version of the mystical fantasy folklore about me, Dr. Apples. That's right, me.
What are you doing?
I'm podcasting.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No, you're not.
Oh, yes, I am.
No. No.
No.
Give it.
You give me. Give me. Give it. Fine. You podcast me. I'll go check on my cold pressed juice.
Enjoy the show.
Chop those onions right, Pum. I don't have time to bite into a clear string of onion.
Yes, Mom. Do you need help with the roux?
Oh, no. No one does the roux like me.
Miss Barul grinned that beautiful grin. She grabbed the kitchen towel to wipe her hands. The humidity from the outside baked the house. The steam from the gumbo in the pot was on the ceiling, creating beads of sweat, but never dripped down. The smell of fresh seafood and vegetables encased the kitchen. Miss Barul's dark curly hair was in a loose ponytail. The skinny curls would frequently get into her face, but it didn't bother her. Dr. Apple smiled when she passed him in the kitchen. He began chopping the celery and made sure to chop loudly near the pot. Gradually, he chopped using only his right hand. His left hand slowly entered into his pant pocket.
I'm about to start the roux, Pum. Is everything inside the pot?
No, Mama. You may need to wait an hour or so for the potatoes to soften.
She rolled her eyes.
Ugh, I suppose.
She focused her attention out the window and began to daydream. Dr. Apple slowly took the contents from his pocket, squeezed tightly in his fist, and hovered it over the pot. He chopped sloppily with his right hand and dropped the contents of his left hand in the pot. A gentle squeal followed by a hiss in the gumbo caught Miss Barul's attention.
What was that?
She walked over, lifted the lid, and stirred the gumbo around.
Not sure, Mama.
That came from the pot?
No, it didn't, Ma.
What's this meaty thing then?
It was translucent and chunky. It began to take on the color of the stew.
No, Mama, it's crab meat. I just put it in with the oysters, too.
He placed the lid on the pot. The gumbo's aroma delighted the room with pleasant green onions, garlic, seafood, and spices. The flavors danced together perfectly. No sign of foul play. His eyes widened, and he maintained eye contact. She wanted to interrogate him more, but she couldn't remember if she had put the seafood in the pot. She released her death stare.
You know, Pum,
The strong cough caused her to jerk backwards. There was no time for her to cover her mouth.
never mind. I need to rest.
Often, while assisting making gumbo, Dr. Apples would try to add his own special ingredients into the pot. That's right. Beings he would pull out of other realms while astral projecting were inserted into Miss Barul's famous gumbo. He was looking for a remedy. He knew he would cure that cough in no time.
Mama should never have to suffer.
On various occasions, he would get caught.
Ow!
What seemed like the habits of a kid who needed his whooped were culinary experiments from the heart. His head would sink low, brows spaced apart, and let out a sigh from his heart. This was the common reaction after hearing his mother's cough. He wished it could give her his strength.
Just take my strength.
His eyes couldn't look at her when that horrid cough appeared. There was no resolution, potion, or juju to soothe her cough. You could sense that cough formulating. You could hear it form in the core of her lungs. It felt like he lost a little part of her each time it voiced itself. She knew it, he knew it, but was rarely brought up in conversation. It's difficult to watch your best friend slowly die. Dr. Apples didn't accept this cosmic irony. With so much wealth of knowledge and power at his beck and call, who was he not to figure out the solution to his mother's pain? With Miss Barul's cough enhancing, the extra ingredients in the gumbo became intrusive. Miss Barul assumed what he was up to when they were cooking gumbo, but could rarely prove it. So Dr. Apple's additions to the gumbo continued. One ingredient Dr. Apples would seemingly get caught playing around with unsettled Miss Barul the most. Fairies. If you're thinking about the Tinkerbell cartoon characters, then you're sadly mistaken. I'm talking about the kind that makes the most powerful of witches shrill in fear. Those fairies. Well, that's another wild ride in the Dr. Apples universe.
Don't forget to subscribe, or I'll turn your apples into pickles.
And visit drapples.com for more magical madness. See you next time.
Bye. Or as we say in my dimension, apple-a-doodle-doo.
What? What dimension?
Shh, just go with it.
Oh.